broke up into, you got your evangelist, you got your evangelistic church, your American Methodist Episcopal Church,
Mm-hmm.
you got your Orthodox church, your Baptist church, your Protestant church, your
Mm-hmm.
Presbyterian, Episcopalian. Those are
Right.
denominations, right?
Those are
So
different.
we look at it.
Yeah, they
A lot
all
of
teach
people,
different stuff.
get offended because you will say, if you say talking to somebody who worships the Orishas and you call the Orishas a Lord, they get attitude. I don't
Mm.
get attitude. I don't get attitude because I be like, okay, well, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's denominational. It's
Yeah.
according to, because each one of them have a different culture
Mm-hmm.
attached to the original doctrine, the underlying principles of the doctrine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you get to the root, then you don't have to worry about denominations. That's why I can pick up a book and read about say the Dogon tribe, the Dogon mysteries. I can read their mysteries and know what they're talking about as if I was a Dogon because I know the origin stories.
Mm. Oh yeah, that's deep. That make a lot of sense.
Yes, it's just denominational, right? And the reason why it's like in Islam, Muslim. You got these motherfucking Negroes over here convert to Islam wearing the Jalabiel and sandals in New York in December and January like a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
That's not religion or religious doctrine. That's cultural. So you didn't appropriate the religion, you appropriated the Arab culture using the religion as the transporting vehicle of the culture.
Mm.
Christianity is Roman. It is
Mm.
the application of Roman culture in other parts of the world with spiritual beliefs by undermining the local spiritual beliefs and putting the church as the preeminent doctrine of the Roman Catholic motherfucking system.
Oh yeah, that make
It's
perfect
the
sense.
same with the Hebrews, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't even read their doctrine. I'm sitting here watching these motherfuckers talk about they Israelites and calling pale skinned people Adamites, and they don't even know, they don't got enough sense to read where it tell you in there that Jacob stole Esau's birthright.
Mm-hmm.
And if the pale people was Edomites, that means that you stole a birthright. That means that they got a superior birthright than you, and you a thief and an underminer and a supplanter, and you a
Mm.
goddamn devil masquerading as the angel.
Ooh. Whoop, there it is.
It's right there in the fucking book.
Yeah.
But they want to be quick to use this racist agenda for divide and conquer purposes. That shit don't work on me because I can see through it all.
Ooh, that's deep. Wow, that is deep. You deep. I love it, and it make perfect sense. That's why I stay in my own lane.
Yeah.
Mm. I love it, Rod. I love it. I love
Look,
your energy. I love everything about you. You dope.
appreciate you, sister.
Yeah.
Look, these motherfuckers get into this religion shit and take sides. Now, think about this for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
We looking at some shit in a book, allegedly. We don't even know if it's true. Happened
Hold
2,000
on one
years
second,
ago.
Rod. It's all right, Miss ESPN. Slow down. You shouldn't be questioned. Okay, we gonna keep the good energy in here. I'm all right, Miss ESPN. Calm me down. Calm me down. If I ain't responding, you don't need to respond either. Love and light. That's all we respond to. Miss
What you,
ESPN going in, and somebody said it's those contacts. I told you, Miss ESPN, that's my baby. I know her, and we talked, and somebody was saying something about me, and she kind of like snapped on them. Let it go. And see, when people come with me with stuff, I don't even reply to negativity. If it's something somebody's saying about me, I'm sorry. If I ever made you feel some type of way, I'm sorry. Because that's not my intentions. I don't do darkness.
so
I don't
look,
go back and forth with people. If you don't like me or you got something sad to
I'm with
say,
the shit. I'm with
yeah.
all, I want all the smoke.
See, I'm not. I don't
But there's
got
only
time for
one
this.
problem.
Mhm.
I don't got no problem with none of the smoke. I just got to be right.
Mhm.
As long as I'm right, because I know sometimes if you, in order to do what's right, you got to
What's your
punch a
zodiac
motherfucker in the
sign?
face. Scorpio.
Oh yeah, I love Scorpios. I'm a Virgo.
Oh, okay then. Look,
Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn.
as long as I'm
Oh, okay.
right, I'm gonna take it wherever it need to go in order to resolve the matter. I know from experience. Sometimes, if you want to do what's right, you got to punch a motherfucker in the face, push their snot box back, turn they spit red, fatten their lip, give them two black eyes, and then kick them in the balls just to do the right thing. I don't got no problem with that. Now, I also understand this.
Mhm.
Everybody got a right to think and feel whatever the fuck they want, right or wrong.
Mhm.
And I got a right to continue to be right and not give a fuck about them.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Ooh, the greatest gift Miss ESPN gave me was this live.
Yeah. I'm glad you got something out of it. I want to take another caller before I go. I'm getting
I know.
tired.
I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I'm gonna What's your other? You said your other Instagram is what
Rod
now?
Hayes.
Rod
Rod
Hayes.
Hayes, yeah.
Okay.
Inbox me on this. Inbox me on this one, and then I'll send you the link to the other one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about to jump off. I ain't gonna watch you no more because I'm gonna mess around and fall asleep. I didn't turn my phone on. I'm in the bed with my little ponytail, laying down. I got to be up at 6, and this just gave me all the energy. I need to go back to sleep. So I'm gonna DM you and I'm gonna jump off here. And thank you. And I wish you nothing but love, light, and great health and wealth. Okay.
Okay, I appreciate you.
All right. Later.
Yeah. Mm, Queen B. There's two of y'all left. Might seem to some people, I just study harder than everybody else. But if I don't know it, I'm gonna go find it out so I can help you to excel with it.
Right.
Right? So when I say free Larry Hoover is the battle cry, Larry Hoover from the land. He's an innocent man that had lost his fucking life because he could have did something about our condition if he was in the street. We under the impression they keeping him in there so that they can clean up our neighborhood. It's the exact opposite is the truth. The same with Angel Bay. The same with Big Tookie. The ones whose job it is has been held incommunicado to the masses. I was in prison. I couldn't do it in prison. You got to be free. You can't be a bond servant and say you're exercising your sovereign jurisdiction. You can't do it from a position of service and bondage and servitude. They know this, right? Then they know they get the guys in prison to raping the young guys coming in because they know that once they've been anally penetrated, they no longer fit the rules. So if they do figure the problem out, let that nigga go. He can't do nothing about it. Right? So we come, hey, bruh, you one of the chiefs on the land. I'm finna show you something. I need you to look at this problem and this solution and tell me if we need to put it in the public domain to present to the rest of the chiefs. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I present the problem to you. I present the solution to you. I tell you why this is the only solution that'll work, and I'll show you the other solutions that I've examined to try to resolve the matter.
Right.
Right? So in the Holy Tablets, under leadership, it says a plan that's workable anywhere is workable everywhere. If the plan is not workable everywhere, it's not truly workable anywhere, right? Because those similarly situated will solve the problem similarly. So that means that the Earthborn, if one of them find a solution out, it should work wherever you go, right? And we the last ones left because the other people around the world that's been taking this information and exercising it, it worked. We ain't the only ones going through this process. The whole planet is. Right?
Yeah, Australia was on the forefront, right, with the Mojave tribe?
Well, they was about their business. Some of the earliest ones to step up and start to exercise their sovereignty was Jamaica and Barbados. And that's why they announced that they was no longer under the jurisdiction of the Crown of England. And they say now they under the Republic. It's reverse engineering. It's going back out the same way you came in.
Right.
Now, once they establish the Republic is still not the people yet. It's the leadership speaking on behalf of the people.
Of the people, okay.
Right? And this goes back to Plato's Republic, which was part of the discourses that take place in Rome on government. So now when you go through the government's discourse on running government that goes back to Rome and you get to Plato's Republic, and then you start looking at all of the philosophies of government trace back to Plato's Republic. So now the next thing you have to do, the next jump, is to go back to what we was before Plato's Republic. Right? And they call that the feudal state. The feudal state is predicated upon family groups making alliances across the land. Right? And then you got your tribal custom or your family tradition. I got mine. Right? This is how we know when our tribe people is born in another clan and they got to marry back into the home tribe. They got an affinity to go back to the motherfuckers that live their life how they know it. They was born in your clan, but they from my clan. Now, when they get old enough to marry, for some reason, they marrying somebody in my clan as opposed to somebody in your clan. Right? So they got to still come home. But also, they bringing some of your genetic material over here into this clan, and this is how you prevent the birth defects. Right? We eternal beings, that means we don't never die. So we got to perpetually coming back in the reincarnation cycle as it's told in the story of Osiris. Right? And then we come in, and you come in levels. Right? In the time of plenty and bounty, you let the fuck-ups come run shit because they got a lot of shit that they could fuck up. Without it having an eternal effect. Right? So you let the fuck-ups, the newbies come in and get their practice in, but when they get totally fucked up like it is now you got to call the baddest motherfuckers ever born to all come together like fucking Autobots to form the Optimus Prime motherfucker in order to fix the shit that all of the other kids came before and fucked it up.
Captain Planet type shit.
Right. So we call that the back to the beginning. You ever hear him say back to the drawing board? You got to restructure this shit, reformat it, put it in the format it's supposed to be in. It's gonna run how it's supposed to run. Right. This time, the going in and out of the Aquarian age into the going out of Piscean age to Aquarian age, you no longer are a fisher of men. What that make you? Now you a hunter of birds.
That J you was talking about.
Yep.
That hook. That's why it was important during that, man. Yo, that's wild.
Right. Now, that hook, when you hunting birds, turns into a long barrel pistol that became a rifle. When you straighten that son of a bitch back out.
Now it's back to this. Okay.
So now you're not fishing in the water, you shooting in the sky. It's a complete flip of opposites, polar opposites, a pole flip, an
Somebody
energetic
said, so
pole
who's the
flip.
birds? That would be us, fam. That would be the people.
Right. But in this case, when we talking about hunting the birds, we're not talking about like literally shooting them down. We talk about giving them the information. It's coming from under the water where you have to trust what you see blindly because you can't see underwater clearly. But when you flip to a bird's eye view, you can see from above what you couldn't see from under the depth. What was in your subconscious mind was the fish. But bring it to your conscious mind, and now they are birds, fins and feathers. Right? So once you get this alignment of information where you can see it, like looking through a needle. The only way a motherfucker getting through the eye of a needle, he got to be smaller than the eye of a needle. Not impossible. Depends on perspective. How did a rich man get through the eye of a needle? Get as far away from that motherfucker as he can. Then who's ever looking through the needle's eye sees the rich man clearly. The problem with that is he's in the crosshairs of a scope now. Everybody know who doing the dirt at that point. Ain't no more hiding that shit. So the rich man would rather his elephant or camel, depending on the culture you come from, walk past the motherfucker holding the needle without being seen than to be seen through the eye of the needle. Right? He don't physically go through it. But the perception sees through the needle, which brings the rich man into the scope's view.
I get what you're saying now. That's crazy. So essentially what you're saying is that old phrase that it's harder for a rich man to get into heaven. It's the same thing as, it's like trying to get through the eye of a needle. And that's what makes it complicated is because he's putting himself in eyesight.
Right. He got to be seen to go through the eye. He can't go through the eye unseen. And once the rich man is seen as a hoarder of wealth, you have what I call now the Benny Hinn Creflo Dollar effect.
Creflo walking all that back.
Look, he ain't the only one.
he said ties is a lie. I was like, there you go.
He ain't the only one about to tell it all. See, they gotta all take the piece that they the most guilty of doing for their redemption. Right? So TD Jakes gave his ministry to his daughter because she is more upright than he is, and he noticed. The side effect to that is it's going to cause the disruption in the life of his other daughter, which you see him play out now. Right? Because she was the one who was supposed to have been the heir. But he made the righteous one the black sheep, which was thereby making the one who was supposed to be the heir lose her motherfucking kingdom because he treated the other one wrong. And it's in the treatment of the siblings. He should have treated them the same. You can't favor one of your children over the other. You can look at them differently, but you have to treat them equally. Right? And that's where he fucked up. So now the one he perceived as being the golden child, because she was the oldest, turned out to not be the golden child. The golden child was the second one because the deuces is the flip. Because Cain slew Abel. Abel didn't slew Cain. Right? And Cain was the oldest, so he lost the inheritance to all of the firstborn. So what would be an heir under the firstborn rule becomes the heir under the secondborn rule because Cain slew Abel. And Jacob tried to steal Esau's birthright.
Yep. Shit that man off.
And Esau is the ruddy red man. See that color? I'm just saying. So when you see these so-called Hebrew Israelites talking about the Adamites is pale-skinned Europeans a fucker holding the needle without being seen, than to be seen through the eye of the needle.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He don't physically go through it, but the perception sees through the needle, which brings the rich man into the scope's view.
I get what you're saying now. That's crazy. So essentially what you're saying is that old phrase that it's harder for a rich man to get into heaven. It's the same thing as, it's like trying to get through the eye of a needle. And that's what makes it complicated, is because he's putting himself in eyesight.
Right. He got to be seen to go through the eye. He can't go through the eye unseen. And once the rich man is seen as a hoarder of wealth, you have what I call now the Benny Hinn Creflo Dollar effect.
Creflo walking all that back.
Look, he ain't the only one.
he said ties is a lie. I was like, there you go.
He ain't the only one about to tell it all. See, they gotta all take the piece that they the most guilty of doing for their redemption. Right? So TD Jakes gave his ministry to his daughter because she is more upright than he is, and he noticed. The side effect to that is it's going to cause the disruption in the life of his other daughter, which you see him play out now. Right? Because she was the one who was supposed to have been the heir. But he made the righteous one, the black sheep, which was thereby making the one who was supposed to be the heir lose her motherfucking kingdom, because he treated the other one wrong. And it's in the treatment of the siblings. He should have treated them the same. You can't favor one of your children over the other. You can look at them differently, but you have to treat them equally.